Hey everyone, welcome back to Wealth Nation, where we break down money, mindset, and real-life financial decisions so you can build a smarter future. Today's episode is a little different. It's more of a personal conversation, and I've got a special guest with me, Sophia.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm actually really excited about this one.
I'm glad you're here, and I love how this episode even started, because this wasn't planned, right?
Not at all. I literally just came to you with a question.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes this powerful. Because what we're about to talk about is something a lot of people quietly struggle with.
Yes, and honestly, I didn't even realize it was a thing until recently.
And it all started with a book, right?
Yeah, The Psychology of Money. My dad gave it to me.
And your dad's been pretty successful financially.
Yes, he's a millionaire. And he told me, this book matters more than anything else I could teach you.
That right there is exactly why we're having this conversation today. So let's start here. When your dad gave you this book, what did you think?
Honestly, I thought it was going to be another boring finance book. Like budgeting tips, investing strategies, that kind of stuff.
Right. The typical how to get rich playbook.
Exactly. But then I started reading it, and it didn't feel like that at all. It was more about behavior, emotions, how people think about money.
And what made you come talk to me?
Because it made me realize something uncomfortable. I don't have a money problem. I have a mindset problem.
That's a powerful realization.
Yeah. Like, I make decent money. I'm not struggling. But I still feel stressed about money all the time. I compare myself to others, I spend impulsively, then I regret it.
Let me ask you something. Do you feel like no matter how much you earn, it never feels like enough?
Exactly. That's exactly it.
That right there is why Millionaires recommend this book. Okay, let me understand this better. When you think about money, what's the first emotion you feel?
Stress and pressure.
Pressure from what?
Keeping up. Like friends buying cars, traveling, posting on Instagram.
So comparison plays a role.
Huge role.
Let me ask you this. Do you have a clear financial plan?
Not really. I just try to save and not overspend.
Okay. And when you spend money, is it planned or emotional?
Mostly emotional, if I'm being honest.
That's important. And one more thing. Do you think your financial habits come from logic or from your past experiences?
Probably my past. Like how I grew up, what I saw.
Exactly. So what's really happening here isn't about numbers, it's about behavior. Let's break this down simply. The biggest idea from the psychology of money is this. Money decisions are rarely about math. They're about behavior.
That already sounds different from everything I've heard.
Right? Let me ask you something. Have you ever known someone who earns a lot but is still broke?
Yeah, actually, yes.
And have you seen someone with average income but they're financially stable?
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
Their habits, I guess.
Exactly. The problem isn't income, it's behavior. Most people think, if I earn more, my problems go away. But in reality, your financial habits scale with your income.
So if I'm bad with money now, I'll just be worse with more money?
That's often what happens.
Wow.
So the real problem isn't how to make money, it's how to think about money. So now let me ask you, what do you think most people get wrong about money?
Probably trying to look rich?
Perfect. That leads us to the next chapter. Here's one of the biggest mistakes. People confuse being rich with being wealthy.
Wait, aren't they the same?
Not at all. Let me explain it simply. Rich equals high income, visible lifestyle. Wealthy equals assets, savings, invisible stability.
So, someone driving a luxury car might not actually be wealthy.
Exactly. Let me ask you something. When you see someone posting vacations, expensive dinners, what do you assume?
That they're doing well financially.
But what you don't see is debt, lack of savings, financial stress.
That's true.
Millionaires understand something important. Wealth is what you don't see.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, the book talks about how real wealth is quiet. It's investments, savings, financial freedom, not Instagram posts.
So chasing the look of wealth is actually hurting me?
Exactly, because you're optimizing for appearance, not stability. So if looking rich is the mistake, what's the system that actually works? Here's the core concept. Financial success is about consistency, not intensity.
What does that mean?
It means you don't need extreme actions. You need small, repeatable behaviors. Let me ask you something. Would you rather invest perfectly for 1 year or invest consistently for 20 years?
20 years, obviously.
Exactly. But most people try to time the market, make quick gains, chase trends, instead of just staying consistent.
Yeah, I've definitely done that.
The book emphasizes one powerful idea. Compounding works best when you don't interrupt it.
So patience is actually the strategy.
Yes, and that's hard, because it's boring.
Yeah, people want quick results.
Exactly. But wealth is built quietly, over time. So now the question becomes, how do you actually apply this in real life? Let's talk about a practical strategy. One approach you can consider is this. Control what you can control.
Like what?
3 things. First, your savings rate. Second, your spending habits. Third, your behavior during uncertainty.
That sounds simple, but also hard.
Exactly. Let me ask you something. Can you control the stock market?
No.
Can you control inflation?
No.
But can you control how much you save?
Yes.
That's the game. Focus on what's within your control.
That actually makes it less stressful.
Exactly. Because now you're not reacting, you're operating. So let's make this even more practical. If someone is listening right now, here's a simple action plan they can start with. Step 1. Define enough. What does a comfortable life look like for you?
That's something I've never actually defined.
Most people haven't, and that's why they keep chasing more. Step 2. Automate saving. Even a small percentage done consistently. Step 3. Avoid lifestyle inflation. As income increases, don't let expenses rise equally. Step 4. Build an emergency cushion. This reduces stress and emotional decisions. Step 5. Stay consistent, even when it feels boring.
This feels doable.
Exactly. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency. And finally, the most important part. Let me ask you something. What does financial success mean to you?
I used to think it meant having a lot of money. But now, maybe it means peace of mind.
That's the shift. The book defines wealth as the ability to control your time.
That's powerful.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, money is just a tool.
So it's not about having more, it's about needing less?
Exactly. And that's why Millionaires recommend this book. Because it teaches you how to think, not just what to do. All right, let's wrap this up. Here's what we covered today. Money is about behavior, not just numbers. Being rich is different from being wealthy. Consistency beats intensity. Focus on what you can control. Define your version of enough. And most importantly, think long-term. Sophia, what's your biggest takeaway?
Honestly, I don't need more money right now. I need a better relationship with money.
That's it. That's the real lesson.
And I finally understand why my dad gave me that book.
Exactly. Because once your mindset changes, everything else follows. Before we wrap up, Sophia, seriously, thank you for coming on today. I think this was one of those conversations a lot of people need to hear, not just want to hear.
Thank you for having me. This actually helped me understand things way better too.
And honestly, that's what this channel is about. Real conversations, real clarity. Now, if you're someone who wants to explore this topic a little deeper, I've added The Psychology of Money in the description below. It's the same book Sophia mentioned, the one her dad recommended. No pressure at all, just a resource if you're curious and want to learn more at your own pace. And if you enjoyed this kind of honest, practical discussion about money and mindset, make sure you subscribe to Wealth Nation. We'll see you in the next episode.